Well, that's not good. Well, the truck quit building air, so I guess I'm probably going to have to get a repair or a tow truck to a repair. So let's figure this one out. It's not a good sign when the tow truck driver says I've towed this truck before. So, truck's over at the repair shop. I got a rental truck from the company, so I guess we'll be doing a review on this truck because it is a nice truck. And here it is, a 2020 Kenworth T680. It's a pretty truck. I like most things so far, so let me put a few miles on it. When we get stopped, we'll do some more. So today was a busy day, new truck and all that. Here's some takeaways from the first day, and this video is going to be a little clips from 3 or 4 days, the whole trip down to Cartersville. So far the first day, the truck itself isn't bad. It takes some getting used to. I like a Peterbilt. I don't like the setback front axles to sit in. The seat doesn't go back far enough for me, but that's just me. But you can get them move further back. This is stock, so it hasn't been. Aside from that, fuel mileage has been good. The only thing I don't like is, well, it's not that I don't like it, is there's a bit of body roll. So it's something to get used to. If any of you ever driven a Volvo, it's got kind of a Volvo style body roll. It just takes a little bit of getting used to in the wind. But aside from that, it's not bad. One of the things this truck has that's kind of neat is it does have an APU. At this current time, I have absolutely no idea how it works. So I'll have to figure it out. I did get it to light up, but let's look at the rest of this. Now, I did make the bed and all that but I didn't put anything away because I'm not permanently moving in. But it's a big condo. It's really well lit. It's got a nice bed. It's got an interesting table here. Grab it, and it rotates out. But that's not much good for left-handers, I guess. And it's got a fridge here somewhere. I'll have to figure out how that opens up. Apparently, I was doing it wrong. It's kind of got an odor to it, but it is used. But they'll clean it out. And it even has a mount for a flat screen and an outlet right there. Here's the one thing about trucks of this size that have always mystified me. All of this room. I mean, there's a lot of room in here. I can do jumping jacks. Zero storage. You got a couple little shelves here. You got a couple little drawers. One thing for your clothes. Not very wide, but yeah. It'll work, but there's not that much storage, and it's always mystified me that you can make a truck so big and the storage can still suck. Because I'll tell you right now, my sleeper dimensionally on my Peterbilt is smaller, but I have twice the storage as this condo. But it seems like that's just been the way it is. Back in the day, I had a 387 Pete. It was the same way. For some reason, the condos always have less storage, so I don't get it. But other than that, the sleeper is really nice. And as soon as I figure out how to use this APU, maybe it'll be nicer. One of the neat features it has on here is this button right here. If you think you forgot to lock the doors, you just hit that and they close. I'll show you. So we got the door unlocked here. Both of them, in fact. Go back, hit this button. Heard that click. Boom. That little bit of added security is nice. With that, that'll be it for the day. We'll catch you all tomorrow, and hopefully by then, I'll have figured out how to use the APU. This truck does have one interesting feature. Hit this little button right here, and you can do a functional light check for all your lights. It'll sit there and cycle through the stop and brake and all your park lights and whatnot. One of the things you should always do when you rent a truck is to go over it with a fine-tooth comb. It doesn't matter who you rent from. You need to make sure that if there's any damage on that truck, it is noted when you pick it up. That way, at the end of it, you're not charged for it. Doesn't matter how little it is. If a hubcap's missing, write a hubcap down. And we got one missing. We got a hubcap missing. That one's there with all the lug nut covers. Got a little crack in the windshield right there. One thing I've noticed also, and this is also something that needs to be noted, is that the alignment's off. That needs to be noted immediately. That way, they know that you didn't run over a curb or something. Truthfully, this truck drives like it was wrecked at one time. Having been a former company truck, it may have been. I don't know the history of it. If I was going to buy the truck, I would. But it is out of alignment, so that's something that needs to be brought up, because they could put somebody else in this truck and they'd be like, hey, this truck's way out of alignment, and then they could charge me for the alignment, saying, oh, you must have done it. I'm not saying this company will do it, they probably won't, but it's something that's important to note. Tennessee, and I'll have to say this: the engine brake on this truck is on point. Cummins did a fantastic job. I thought my truck held pretty good, but this truck, no. This truck, it didn't matter where I was, it held it. And I'm impressed. Let's get to Georgia. One of the interesting things about this is the lane assist. If I drift over, cross, it'll beep. Well, usually. Or if I go this way too far, it'll beep. And it'll show right here what's happening. So we have our cruise set right now. As you can see, it's set at 69 miles an hour, giggity. And about to get past, so hopefully he cuts me off and I can actually show you the screen. One time in my life I want to be cut off and he wants to be responsible. Ah! Oh, there we go. Yep. Shows the car in front, shows the speed the car is running, and it puts the cruise in kind of a temporary, it takes control of the cruise, which is a good thing and a bad thing. So, the adaptive cruise control, that is its own worst enemy. It's an interesting concept in theory, but in practical application, it's dumb as hell. What it essentially does, if you're not paying careful, is it will slow the interstate down to the slowest common denominator. The slowest guy on the interstate suddenly is leading the pack. And the other thing I don't like about it so far is when you start coming up on somebody and you're gonna get to pass them, in order for that thing not to kick on and slow you down, which basically unwinds the whole truck, you have to start passing at least a good quarter to a half mile out, and that's just idiotic. So you start screwing up traffic a whole lot sooner than you normally would be. You know, instead of passing a guy in under a quarter of a mile like you normally would, it's going to take half to 3/4 of a mile to pass somebody. And it's a neat concept, poorly executed. But that's nothing to do with this truck. It's just the programming that's installed in this truck. There are some neat things, like it has some recognition software in it to where when I go past the speed limit sign, it actually reads the speed limit signs and will tell you what the speed limit is in real time on the dash. So that's kind of interesting. Well, it's the end of day 2. We're down here in Georgia, and truck ran fine. Up the hills fine, down the hills, Jake was great. The adaptive cruise is really difficult to learn in traffic, but it is learnable. You know, not much of a takeaway that I've already told you, so it's good. It's going to be interesting to see when we get to the customer tomorrow, back into the spot, do whatever we need to do. So, and we'll be in some rain, so it will be neat to see how the truck works in some rain. So this has been kind of an experience. So, hey, so I guess we'll see you tomorrow for day 3. Day 3, and it's raining. It appears to have quit for a minute, so let's pop the hood and check the oil and see what's under this thing. Yeah! It's a 450 horse X15, and truthfully, the way it's set up, I haven't had a bit of trouble pulling anything with it. These are great engines. I actually really like them. This one's a 2020. It's clean. It also has disc brakes. We got disc brakes all the way around. I'm really digging the way this truck is set up. So we're backed into the door. I'm delivering right now. Everything's golden. I generally don't show where I'm delivering just because of trade secrets and stuff like that. It's pretty much taboo. That being said, truck was flawless. Backs up great. These setback front axle trucks always back up wonderfully, and the clutch has got a real nice feel. Of course, it is new, but aside from that, it's been a real pleasant drive. It's been a lot better than I thought it would be. I'm not even gonna lie. Truck's great. I'm actually really starting to like it a lot more than I thought I would. So you never know. So, final thoughts. Got the truck for a few more days. Don't know. I like it so far. I actually really do. It's a strong truck for the running. 7 out of 10. It'd be 8 out of 10, but I like the leg room in the front. It's a little cramped, but it's something I could learn to live with. It depends. But for the most part, I'm impressed. This truck turned out to be a whole lot better than I thought it would be. I actually really do like it. It's I Didn't think I would like it this much. Lots of neat features. Storage space kind of sucks, like I said, but that's industry-wide. And for the most part, the things I don't like about this truck are more of a personal preference than the truck itself. It's a good truck, and it's a good setup. It's got an APU. I figured out how to use that. I really do like that. And it's got a bunch of other neat features, you know, stuff that I'm not used to having in my truck. That being said, it's a good truck, and it might be worth looking a little more into some more of these, so you never know. I appreciate it. This has been a fun video to make. Took a few days, Sioux Falls to Cartersville, tow truck involved. But that being said, it was a fun video to make. We'll be headed back to Sioux Falls now to get my truck. It's going to be a little bit of a step back, but it'll be good to be back into my truck. But I'm still looking for a new truck, and this one just shot way up the list. I didn't think I would like a 680. I didn't think I'd like the wide cab as much as I did, but I do. So, hey, the hunt continues. Get my truck back, and I hope you enjoyed the video on this truck as much as I enjoyed making it. So I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next video.